Well, it is week 7 of Kin 414. This week, make sure that you read chapter 14 in your textbook, and there's some PowerPoint here for the chapter with some voiceover slides, just a few of them to talk about some key points in the chapter. And then make sure you take your quiz. Your critical assignment is due at the end of this week, so by Sunday midnight, make sure you turn in your critical assignment. This template right here can be used to write your lesson plan. And remember, these are the two lessons. One, a team sport lesson. You already did a lesson on that, but make sure that you do a different skill this time. Don't do the same skill. Don't do the same lesson. You're not correcting any mistakes you made in the first lesson. You are creating a whole new lesson for a new skill for the sport, the team sport that you chose. Same for the lifestyle activity, a new skill for that lifestyle activity in your lesson plan. So you will, in that lesson plan, just like in your CAP 3, you had to include 2 different instructional models that you used in your lesson plan. Do that also in these 2 lesson plans. So in your team sport lesson plan and your lifestyle activity lesson plan, you're going to put down what instructional model. Remember, this class is about learning about different instructional models, different ways to teach PE instead of just direct instruction. Direct instruction is the easiest. Direct instruction is the most common way, but there are other ways, other skills you can use as a teacher to get the curriculum across to your students. So that's what this class was about doing. Then you're going to record your lesson, but the part I want you to record in your lesson, just like in CAP 3, is making sure that you show at least 2 of the instructional methods that you've chosen in your lesson plan. So make sure there's 2 in each of them. If you want to do one complete video with both of them in, that's fine. Just make sure well, of course I'll be able to tell the difference, but just make sure there's a break in between telling me, okay, now you're doing your lifestyle activity, or you're doing your team sport activity, so I know which one's which. I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out, but go ahead and do that for your if you put them all in one video. And please don't make your video any longer than 20 minutes. I have a whole bunch of students that I need to grade, and I like to watch every single second of everybody's video. So please try to adhere to a reasonable time limit. So no more than 10 for each video, or 20 total. So if you have 8 minutes in one, then you can do 12 minutes in the other, but it doesn't have to be 20, just not more than 20. I want to see enough of it. And if you're doing like PSI instruction, and you're going to have your students looking at something that they're going to do, like maybe they're doing fitness stations or something, and there's a paper at the station for them to look at to decide what they're going to do, to figure out what they're going to do, or to learn what they're going to do, then make sure you show me that in the video so that I can see that, so I can grade that part of your video. Another thing in this video, unlike the other one, please talk about how maybe you would expand this out to have more students in your classroom. I know a lot of times, especially if you only have one student you're teaching to, in the video you spend all your time teaching that one student, but in reality you have 40 plus students that you have to teach. So how are you going to make sure you get around to all 40 students and give them the same kind of instruction that you need to? If you spend 1 minute with each student, that's 40 minutes of class, and that's not really a possible thing to do. So how are you going to make your instruction extrapolate out so that you can show that you're getting to all your students? And that's another reason why you want to maybe teach in a different model, a different instructional model, so you can get to each student. and help each student or a significant amount of students. Include in your lesson plan the link, your YouTube link, so that I can make sure and look at your video, so I don't have to email you and say, hey, give me the link for your video, because I might not get to yours till later. It depends on how long it takes me to grade everybody's assignments. Please look at the rubric so that you know you want to try to get everything in the exemplary column here. So if you look at the rubric here, these first two are talking about the lesson plans themselves, and then these last three are talking about how you are teaching. So try to get as much of this stuff in as possible. If you are teaching just to the camera because you have no students, try to pretend that you do have students, that you are talking to them, that you are having them do certain activities, that you are praising them, that you're giving them feedback. Pretend so that I can see how you would really teach. I know it's not really how you would really teach, but try to do the best you can, because now we're in this COVID time that you can't be out with all these people and have a whole class of students and teach. So we have to make do with what we have, and I need to be able to see how you teach as best as can be. So please do the best you can on that. So you are going to be submitting your critical assignment to 2 places. The one down here is for originality, checking for originality in the Safe Assign. And so please make sure you submit there. This assignment, when you submit here, will be a 0. So when I look at it, I'll just look to make sure it is not a 100% copy off of another assignment somewhere, that it is your own original work, and then you'll get a 0 in it. So that doesn't mean it's bad or anything, it just means that I checked it over. And then up here, when you submit up here, this is where it goes into task stream, and this is where I can grade it using the rubric that I showed you earlier. So please make sure that you submit it into both places. And if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in plenty of time. Like again, your assignment, your critical assignment is due by the end of the week, this week, by Sunday midnight.